Hey, welcome to Mazzy's Mix number 12. These are videos where I show new releases and I read some comments, but this is going to be the last comment edition. I know everyone likes them because I get these snarky, troll-like comments, but if you watch my most recent video, and the link below if you haven't, it's a tribute to my friend and going through my late friend Coleman's record collection. And Coffee Dave and I have purchased a collection. We're going through it. It's going to be a month-long project, 5,000 plus records, plus 45s. I pulled some of the box sets here so you can just see that. Look, Beatles mono box, Rolling Stones mono box, some Grateful Dead, but a lot of Beatles stuff, a lot of Kinks. What I need more Beatles and Kinks, but some original pressings. So some of these things are going to be available, and on some we may sell through the channel here on some live streams down the line. He has a lot of R&B and soul, but that's not what this is about. I am touched at all the great comments I got on Coleman's videos, and that kind of made me think about these comments that I usually read, the trolling wanker people comments. So there's only a couple, I think there's only two I'm going to read. And I'm not going to do it again because those people don't deserve attention. Of course, I get amusement, and you seem to get amused by me reading them and some of my responses. So this is one actually I'm keeping. I'm a big fan of Dylan, and I have pretty much all the Dylan bootleg series on vinyls. I said vinyls, don't shoot me. I slipped. Okay, vinyl on vinyl, plus the CD box sets that had the larger groups. But the Whitmart demos I have on CD. I never got this one on vinyl, so I'm going to keep this for my collection. Coleman and I were big Dylan fans. We both saw the 74 tour with the band. We saw the band together. We went to The Last Waltz. We saw the band at Stanford University. Several times we saw the band together. And but these were, Bob Dylan did these early recordings, 62 to 64, that were for the publisher. So these are publisher versions, and it's really great. So I highly recommend this. But again, Mazzy's Mix is a potpourri of things, some new releases, some letters. Usually I feature an artist, which I may do. Let's get on with this. Look at this. Look at all these friggin' records. Oh, Uberbox sighting. Okay, let's talk about some new releases and new records that have come into my domain, aside from that massive collection that's in my garage. Oh, you want to see that? Okay, I'm stopping right here, and you're going to see Coffee Dave and I unloading the 12-foot box truck into my garage. Stand by. It's only 30 seconds. Okay, so I won a contest in the vinyl community, and it was for Seeking a Thread, Dom. Searching for a thread, seeking a thread. He's from upstate New York, and he has an online radio show every week, and a great channel. So I'm going to put a link to Dom's channel below, Dominique, I think. Think of it. Remember the singing nun? Dominique. I know he probably hates that shit. Anyway, I digress. So I won a contest, a $50 gift certificate at Dusty Grooves in Chicago. And I went through there, and we all need more records, right? But there was two records that I realized I have on CD, and I didn't realize they were reissued over the last 2 years on vinyl. And as the completest I am for everything Ry Cooder produces, Ry Cooder records, my favorite guitar player of all time, great string instruments player. I got two albums by Ibrahim Ferrer. If you don't know Ibrahim Ferrer, of course, the branding here on the first album, he did the first solo album, is Buena Vista Social Club Presents. Obviously, their marketing of the fame and the the success of that album that Ry Cooder produced in Havana. And it's an amazing album. If you don't have the Buena Vista Social Club, I know it's being reissued yet again very soon in an expanded edition. So I highly recommend. Everyone should have that record. It's gorgeous, it's soulful, it's beautiful. Gorgeous and beautiful, kind of the same thing, right? There's a series of albums of various members of the Buena Vista Social Club, and Ibrahim Ferrer is a wonderful vocalist. And this was the first album, and I just love this album. And there's a lovely book in here with lyrics and details, and obviously all the songs sung in Spanish. And then there's Buenos Hermanos, and this is the second one that Ry Cooder produced again. Another lovely book of photographs. Just wonderful, wonderful packages. But just the exuberance and the love of this record. And these are upbeat, positive, lovely records. And thanks, Dom. I just couldn't resist. So I added to the certificate and got these for myself. And I'll always think of you, Dom, when I play these gorgeous records. Okay, this is something that just arrived from Europe, and I pre-ordered it a while back, and it's a massive box set from Vinyl on Demand, and these are like handmade projects. The Los Angeles Free Music Society. Okay, here's the box, and I'll go into it in a minute. Now, they were around from like 1974 to 1983, and I remember hearing about them, but I never really got in or listened to them. And I didn't know I had a connection in a way of someone that I know through work and through the business, the music business, photography business. And I've never met in person, and I would love to do an online sort of showcase on him. And I'll get to him in a second, but I'm so excited. Now, the Los Angeles Free Music Society, LAFMS, was an avant-garde collective, Dadaist, experimental noise performance. They produced a magazine in Los Angeles, and they had events and exhibits, and kind of sounds like pretentious art creation shit, but I love that stuff. The person I'm referring to, Tom Recchion, is a member of this, and I knew him separately, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm going to compare them to the Residents, the San Francisco Bay, San Francisco collective, avant-garde artist, psychedelic, experimental, electronic, just again, to me, and again, I haven't dived into listening to this yet, so I might be way off base. And I'm not saying musically they're the same thing, but they're sort of the yin, the yang of a similar collective. The Residents and Los Angeles Free Music Society. And Tom, if I'm wrong, you can just tell me I'm a wanker. And I don't know if they were just came about. It seemed like they came about around the same time, because I got into the Residents on that very first album that I bought. I think it was 1974, with the parody of the Meet the Beatles cover, and I still have my copy, and they only made 1,000 copies of that, so that's worth a lot. And obviously some of their things are worth a lot. So, okay, now the connection. Tom Recchion, I've known his name for years before I ever had any personal contact with him. Again, we never met in person, but I used to see his name on records. I think it was Warner Brothers records, a lot of record covers. He's an amazing art director, designer for Warner Brothers for many years, and he was a member of the collective. And he designed this package, which I'll jump into in a minute. So I used to go to Capitol Records many years before that with his predecessors, Tommy Steele and several other art directors there. And I used to love to go in the Capitol Tower and hawk my wares, my photographers. Never met Tom, but I knew his name. I'd love to do a one-on-one with Tom, talking about his art and talking about this package too. Okay, there's a box it comes in. First of all, a little cardboard packaging with a t-shirt. These are all handmade in Europe. Vinyl on demand, excuse me. God, do I have to, it's folded so perfectly. Oh well. God, it smells so. I smell the European ink. God, look how beautiful is that. Wow. God. There's this empty inner sleeve of a replicated cassette. LP1. Oh, I get it. Ah, these are the empty sleeves, and then separately are the LPs. They took them out of the sleeves. I love when they do that, especially on these large boxes, because you don't get seam splits. I'm not going to even talk about the record, but they're kind of like early punk, post-punk, avant-garde. I mean, all the words of all the, Fluxus movements, all that kind of stuff. Oh my God. So Tom Recchion designed everything. Look at these covers. I love this kind of stuff. And those of you who watch my channel know what a big fan I am of packaging and limited editions and artsy fartsy shit. God, this is gorgeous. Go Tom. Now, this isn't all messed up. This is in the print. It looks like it's all sort of bent up and crinkled, but that's the way it's printed on purpose. 1981 December compilation. God. I mean, this is massive. This is friggin' massive. I'll put a link below. I think you can, I think maybe Forced Exposure on the East Coast. I'll look that up, and if they offer it, it's not a cheap set, but it's an amazing set for those of you into the avant-garde and into collections like this. Also, I'll put a link to, I can still smell the ink. I'm gonna get high. Tom, you're getting me high. Boys will be boys. Which one's Tom? Tom's like bald like me now, so we all had hair in those days. But, I gotta meet you someday, Tom. We have to do this thing. Now, this is heavy, so this has gotta be all the records, obviously. Oh my God, oh. Okay. Huge, beautiful book. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This kind of stuff excites me. I know it's not for everybody, and these kind of things aren't for everybody. These are very limited editions, several hundred pressed. They will sell out, and then they'll be worth a shitload more. But you don't buy these because of, don't buy these because of the value eventually, It ain't the stock market, whatever. But look at this. This is an archive. I love that a lot of these artists, and especially groups like this, are archiving a time, event, a sound through visuals, through music, through photographs. I mean, that's what it's all about, Okay, I'm probably a few years older than Tom, but what a time this was. Maybe we're close to the same age. I think I'm a few years older. But, now we're getting somewhere. 3D glasses. All these other books, oh my God, like zines. I think these are the, my guess is, and again, I don't know it. That's why I want to talk to, hopefully have a conversation with Tom. These are probably replicas of the magazines they produced. Look at these. This is elaborate. This is so friggin' great. I could go ad nauseum through these. That's cool. This is great. Any of you who are collectors, buy this friggin' box set. I'm not going to say the music is secondary, because obviously it's not. But this is the total, I'm going to sound like a sort of verbal masturbation, but the total artistic oeuvre of this collective. And it's really, is this a 45? Ooh, what's in here? Ooh, this is, I'm number 469 out of 500. Great, I couldn't get number 23, my lucky number. I should have requested that. So there are 500 of these, it seems like, unless it was just this single. I assume this might be in the other thing. Okay, this is an envelope. It's sealed, so maybe you're not supposed to open it. I don't want to open it because I don't want to get cooties yet, but it doesn't look like there's anything in there. It's just a sealed envelope. Talk about avant-garde pretentious. I love this shit. Okay, here are all the records. So the records come separately with wonderful polyline sleeve. I feel like I'm on QVC selling shit. This is not for everybody. So there's a handful of you around the world who may be watching this. Go buy this record. What else are you going to spend your money on, right? Another friggin' copy of Rumors? Jesus Christ. Another tone poet. Let's look at one record. Ooh, it's clean. It looks beautiful. It's flat. Doesn't say I buried Paul in the dead wax. No, it doesn't. But look at this. Tom, oh God. I want to do, okay, Tom, you're going to be watching this, I know. So I think when you're ready, let's just do a conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about your design, if you don't mind. Or we can do a couple, oh, 45. Ooh, look at, God, what a great label that is. Who, what, where, why, when. I'm not going to go through every record, but you get the idea. These records fit into the actual sleeves, and I'll put it there. But what a great friggin' set. God, this is exciting to me because, again, modern art, Fluxus movement. I'm a big Yoko Ono fan and her artwork. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people like to jump on her voice and stuff. I like her voice, and I like her production. I like her experimentation. And, you know, you can get into the Captain Beefhearts of the world, and you can get into the, well, Wildman Fisher's probably not a good example, but this stuff, this artsy-fartsy stuff, even early Velvet Underground, The Factory, Warhol. And again, Tom, you probably know more about the whole art scene, that because I don't know the LA scene. Than I think I started going to Madame Wong's and the punk clubs in the late, like around 77, 78 a little bit, seeing X and that stuff. So I didn't see any of the performance art and avant-garde stuff going on there. But, you know, they've done things in museums and galleries and the like. And anyway, the Los Angeles Free Music Society, Tom Recchion design project, a member of this collective. Love this, and I'm so excited about diving into it. I think there's going to be more after this. So on these Mazzy Mix videos, I'd like to do a little mini featurette on one artist. And this time, I want to tie it in with this. Instead of doing a musical featurette, I'm going to do it on Tom Recchion. I'm going to embarrass him a little bit, make him blush a little bit. God, spread your cheeks. Remember Isla Vista in Santa Barbara? Spread your cheeks for Isla Vista clothing. Anyway, if you lived it in Santa Barbara in the 70s, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, but as a member of the Los Angeles Free Music Society, why do I have to keep looking at? I'm sorry, Tom. It doesn't roll off the tongue like The Residents. The Residents. Tom was an art director and designer at Warner Brothers Records and then at Capitol Records. And I just picked a handful. I bet you I have 100 or more albums that Tom art directed solely, and obviously a lot of times you do these projects with members of the band. There's always one member. Like, let me just start, for instance. Tom art directed and designed this with Michael Stipe of REM. My favorite REM album. He was at Warner Brothers then. Automatic for the People. So Tom designed this along with Michael Stipe. And maybe if we have a conversation, we can find out a little more of that. Another one, a favorite album of mine, a personal favorite. This is my original promo copy I got from Warner Brothers Records. So my guess is Tom has one too. This is Songs for Drella. And this is sort of the homage that Lou Reed and John Cale did, obviously, to original members of the Velvet Underground about Andy Warhol. And you can see the subliminal sort of black on black image of Andy Warhol behind them, and kind of a minimalist concept, but gorgeous record, beautiful cover art. Love that. One of my other favorite covers, which is probably a little, off the radar for some people, is this fantastic record, Latin Playboys. Latin Playboys were an offshoot project from Los Lobos, who were on Warner Brothers Slash. Slash was a division that had the Blasters early and very LA-centric. And this is a fantastic record with members of Los Lobos and other people. I think Mitchell Froome might have been involved in this as well, who had produced some of Los Lobos albums. And this great cover package was co-designed, art directed and designed by Tom Recchion and Louis Perez, a member of Los Lobos. So I'm sure there are a lot of artist collaborations that if we get a chance to talk to Tom, maybe he'll discuss that a little bit. Since I'm sticking with Los Lobos, I imagine Tom worked on several, but this is one of my favorite. This is Kiko. Unfortunately, this is the Mobile Fidelity. Not unfortunately, because they always stick their friggin' masthead on there. I think it wrecks the cover designs, but that's their thing. And this is a 45 RPM two-sided, and this is produced by Mitchell Froome, but a great, lovely package here that Tom Recchion worked on as well. Now, two other projects where he art directed and designed. I don't have the full box set of this, and I've seen on Tom's Instagram feed this electric light box effect version of this promo thing for this, and this is the Beach Boys Smile that came out about 10 years ago, I think, give or take, for Capitol Records. And he was an art director in the Capitol Tower at Capitol. There's a box set version of this, which I didn't get it, but I love this. So he art directed and designed this project, Good Vibrations, Good Vibrations, Good Vibrations. The record that was meant to be, that never happened, that finally saw the light of day about a decade ago. And finally, one of the most beautiful projects I have, and I love that Tom was able to collaborate with Yoko and the John Lennon estate on this beautiful CD box. This is Lennon, and look at this. God, slides. It's so Yoko, and I would love to hear a fly on the wall or hear some stories about, how much Yoko gets involved in these things. Or she's got this minimalist white on white Fluxus movement, positive edition. You pull out the box and it says yes right away. The little ribbon thing. Won't pull out everything, but obviously everything is positive and everything is upbeat. And this has a little stash box, well, a little pull-out drawer that contains, now I forgot what it contains. I haven't opened this in a while. More ribbons. So Tom, tell us about this. A little book. This is a book of small John Lennon sketches, which I love. Okay, there's some sketches. I'm not going to pull it out now, but I just love the little secret designs. And this has the entire catalog up to that point. Well, pretty much the entire catalog. I just wanted to showcase a little of Tom Recchion's beautiful art direction and design, and that he did for his LA collective there. And, check it out. Look on those records. I grew up reading every little detail, who art directed, who designed, what recording studios, who played on what. That was a time where we would spend hours and hours looking at records, and Tom is one of those art director names. Look at those designers. They're important. They're an important part of those record packages you own. So I want to do a shout out to, this is a little off the music thing, but it's all connected. And if you've been watching my channel, that I also collect Beatle books. There's a Facebook group hosted by John Bazzini. John Bazzini is obsessed with Beatle books, as I am. These are just a portion. You saw in the other room my Beatle book collection, but there's Genesis books here, and of course this wonderful book that David Bacon and I wrote in 1982, The Beatles England. But anyway, like shameless self-promotion. All Beatle books here, Beatle related. John Bazzini hosts a page. It's Beatle books, solo and Beatles in print. I'm paraphrasing the name. There's a link below. Please go and join up. You have to be accepted, but he'll accept you. As you know, there are so many Beatle books in the world. It seems like every 6 minutes there's a Beatle book released somewhere in the world. So go there and go to the Facebook page, and he'll pull you in. He's a good guy, and he has a lot of knowledge of books. He's a collector, and there's some wacky books out there on the Beatles. So enjoy that. So go check it out. Link is below.